Okay, for the viewers who are not familiar with this small, real miniature ukulele, and by real I mean it's an authentic ukulele, meaning it's an authentic musical instrument. It is a miniature, uh, rightly so by virtue of its size, but the dividing line, uh, if you want to compare it with other miniatures like saxophones or guitars or other trumpets, these kinds of display miniatures, that's what they basically are, for displays. This, what I had in mind when the thought came to me, it was a supreme challenge because I knew I could do a miniature, a decorative miniature for display on someone's shelf, maybe a conversation piece. But the real challenge was to see if I could muster up the wherewithal to create a real ukulele. And that was a challenge because I had no background about making musical instruments. Although I'm a musician, I'm an oboist. So, um, with that daunting task ahead of me, I went on ahead and just dove in, and just I believe just through sheer perseverance and not knowing when to quit. Uh, this is the result of, you might say, hard work and just diligence, and So this one is the acorn, or the mustard seed, if you will, from which the regular size KoAloha ukuleles came to be. This is real in the truest sense of the word. You can there The pegs are tunable, meaning you can turn it, twist it, and you can get to the right pitch. And uh, all of this whole instrument is totally handmade, and so it represents a giant labor. And when I created this miniature ukulele, I still had my relatively good eyesight, and so I could do small things, without the aid of glasses. But I soon found out that after doing it for even under a year, my eyesight started to go, and so I couldn't do the tiny little things that needed to be done. So this instrument is basically so accurate that I can play all the way up the scale, and I'm just going to try to give you a small little demonstration. And I'm going to do the C chord, and I'm just going to go up with my little finger and go up the scale, and you're going to hear that the intonation, the pitch, is right on the nose. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go C, D. Yeah, you hear that? So this is folks, this is a real instrument, and I honestly I can't believe, uh, somehow I was able to do this instrument. It's really but that's another story, So um, I'm going to try to uh, play a little ditty for you, and uh, I was able to, when we first introduced this miniature instrument, I can't remember how many years ago. Roy Sakuma, the famous Roy Sakuma, invited me to play this instrument and debut it at his famous ukulele festival held every annually at the Kapiolani Park Bandstand. So I was up for it. I went and I rehearsed, and then he had an able group to back me up. And at that time, my little left finger was fine. And I mean, by fine, I mean this was like my right finger. My right finger is totally fine. My left finger is about 3/16 of an inch or quarter inch shorter because I sustained an industrial accident. Basically, the table saw caught my fingernail and it made a mess. I had to go to emergency and all that. But so before that, I was able to play at the festival, and I was able to successfully play Hilo March, and that was really hard because there were a lot of little tiny movements that I had to execute in order to play the runs and all these kinds of things. So since then, the technical aspect has been greatly curtailed, and right now I'm gonna try to stumble maybe and try to do something that is a signature Christmas song. In fact, I'm gonna just play a little bit, and just a little bit. If I don't muff it, you're gonna be able to recognize what tune it is. Okay, so here we go. Okay, here's the song. I'm sure you recognize it as the world famous Jingle Bells Rock. And um, so folks, unfortunately, I'm not making these little cuties anymore because, my eyesight forces me not to be able to do it. So those people who bought one of these little miniatures, they may not be aware that they have, in addition to a historical first, meaning this is the very first KoAloha ukulele, and despite its size. And they also have a unique collectible item. This is truly a collector's. It's like it's basically um, close to priceless, because there aren't any more. I'm not making any more, and for the price they paid, which was at that time pretty steep. This was going for about 300 some odd dollars, and they were selling briskly, but we transitioned to the regular size ukuleles. What I'm going to show you now, folks, is a pretty much a dramatic comparison, and what I'm going to show you is actually the miniature U compared to our regular size or a regular size ukulele. Now the regular size ukulele, I'm going to deliberately pick the smallest size that we manufacture, which is our standard model. It's the standard size ukulele. And even if it's the smallest ukulele we manufacture, you're going to see how small is small when you compare the miniature with our smallest real ukulele. So here it is, folks. Now this is our smallest ukulele. So this one could almost go in the sound hole of this ukulele. So the art of miniaturization was really captured in this real small instrument.